Welcome to Yanqing Node News, a global AI news roundup. March 13th, 2026. Today's important news includes Meta plans layoffs over AI costs. Pentagon labels Anthropic a supply risk. China approves world's first invasive BCI. Chinese users pay to remove OpenClaw. Palantir demos AI chatbot war plans. Now, let's start the main text. 1. Chinese brain interface startup Gestala raises $21 million just 2 months after launch. The company, founded by serial entrepreneur Phoenix Peng, focuses on non-invasive ultrasound BCI technology that interacts with the brain without surgery. Gestala plans to prioritize chronic pain management as its lead project while building a production facility in China to develop its first prototype this year. 2. Meta planning sweeping layoffs as AI costs mount. To manage the massive financial pressure of building AI infrastructure, Meta is considering cutting its workforce by 20% or more, potentially affecting tens of thousands of employees. The company expects its 2026 capital expenditures to reach up to $135 billion, primarily driven by investments in GPUs and data centers for its superintelligence projects. 3. AI writes buggy code. A Silicon Valley startup wants to fix it. The startup Axiom reached a $1.6 billion valuation by using formal mathematical verification and the lean programming language to prove the logical correctness of AI-generated code. Its technology aims to eliminate hidden security vulnerabilities in high-stakes sectors like finance, aerospace, and medical devices where software errors can be catastrophic. 4. Google is using old news reports and AI to predict flash floods. Through its GroundSource project, Google used the Gemini model to extract structured data from 5 million historical news articles to build a flash flood time series dataset. This data trains models to provide 24-hour flood risk warnings for 150 countries, specifically helping regions that lack expensive hydrological sensors. 5. Big drone builder Swarm Aero raises $35 million. California-based defense startup Swarm Aero secured funding to mass-produce large-scale military drones and AI swarm control software at its new 80,000-square-foot factory in Arkansas. Their platforms use fossil fuel engines to achieve long-range flight at high altitudes, carrying payloads like missiles or reconnaissance equipment. 6. Anthropic's Claude would pollute defense supply chain. The Pentagon CTO designated Anthropic as a supply chain risk because its AI models have policy preferences embedded through constitutional AI that could restrict military operations. This designation forces defense contractors to remove Claude from their tech stacks, following a breakdown in negotiations over prohibiting the AI's use in autonomous lethal weapons. 7. Top tech CEO's vision of AI-driven future seems tailor-made for Trump. Palantir CEO Alex Karp claimed that AI will diminish the economic and political power of highly educated Democratic-leaning voters while empowering working-class male voters with vocational skills. Critics argue that this voter realignment prophecy aligns perfectly with the political interests of Donald Trump and his populist base. 8. China approves market launch of brain-computer interface medical device in world first. The NMPA approved a surface-invasive BCI system by Neuracle Technology that helps paralyzed patients regain hand gripping functions through a robotic glove. This milestone marks the first commercial approval of an invasive BCI device, placing China ahead of U.S. competitors like Neuralink in regulatory speed. 9. Ex-Anthropic researchers are raising capital for new startup Mirendil. Former core researchers from Anthropic are seeking $175 million at a $1 billion valuation to build a neolab focused on specialized AI models for complex reasoning. Mirendil aims to develop verifiable model stacks for scientific research and engineering tasks rather than competing in the general-purpose chatbot market. 10. Bumble introduces an AI dating assistant, B. Dating app Bumble announced an AI personal matchmaker called B that learns user values through private conversations to recommend highly compatible partners. The feature is part of a strategic shift to replace traditional swiping with deep narrative matching and AI-guided profile feedback. 11. Chinese users pay to uninstall OpenClaw AI agent. Following high-profile security warnings about the risks of autonomous AI agents, many Chinese users are now paying experts to purge the OpenClaw software from their systems. Regulators have also intervened, banning the high-privilege agent in financial institutions and government agencies to prevent data leakage and unauthorized system access. 12. OpenClaw AI banned at Chinese financial institutions over security worries. Chinese regulators issued warnings to banks and state enterprises to stop using the OpenClaw AI agent due to its extensive system access and potential for cyber attacks. While some local governments still subsidize AI agent innovation, the central government is prioritizing security in critical infrastructure and sensitive business sectors. 13. Y Combinator-backed Random Labs launches Slate V1. Random Labs released Slate V1, claiming it is the first swarm-native AI coding agent designed to handle complex, multi-file software engineering tasks. The platform uses a hierarchical architecture with dynamic pruning to manage context memory and reduce costs in large-scale enterprise code bases. 14. Challenges and research directions for large language model inference hardware. A system research paper identifies the decode phase as the primary performance bottleneck for LLM inference due to memory bandwidth and latency limitations. The authors propose new hardware architectures like high-bandwidth flash, HBF, and near-memory computing to overcome the memory wall in AI deployment. 15. Introducing the Anthropic Institute. Anthropic launched an internal research organization to study the systemic challenges and societal risks posed by powerful AI systems. Led by co-founder Jack Clark, the institute will focus on AI's impact on employment, national security, and political structures while engaging directly with affected communities. 16. Mystery-funded defense firm Ondas expands Israeli buying spree with Bird Aerosystems acquisition. US-based Ondas acquired its 11th Israeli defense firm, Bird Aerosystems, for $133 million to integrate airborne missile protection and ISR solutions into its robot and drone portfolio. The company's rapid expansion, backed by $1 billion in undisclosed funding, has raised security concerns regarding the outflow of strategic defense talent and technology from Israel. 17. Google Maps is getting a new AI-powered Ask Maps feature. Google is integrating Gemini into its Maps application to allow users to find local places and plan multi-stop itineraries using natural language conversations. The update also introduces immersive 3D navigation for detailed urban views, representing the biggest overhaul of the platform in a decade. 18. Palantir announces slew of defense and security-themed partnerships. Palantir secured a $10 billion long-term framework with the U.S. Army and a crucial DISA authorization to deploy its AI software across highly classified environments. The company is also expanding into regulated sectors like healthcare and aviation by partnering with firms such as Boeing, Airbus, and Cognizant. 19. Shutdown in the Strait of Hormuz would spell helium trouble for chipmakers. Current conflicts in the Middle East threaten Qatar's helium supply, which accounts for 1/3 of the global market and is essential for semiconductor manufacturing. A prolonged blockade of the Hormuz Strait could cause price surges and supply shortages, potentially disrupting production for storage chip giants in South Korea and Taiwan. 20. How local data is shaping AI tools for farmers. Localized generative AI tools are helping farmers in the global south by providing agricultural advice via vernacular voice interfaces on platforms like WhatsApp. These projects combine satellite imagery and local farmer feedback to accelerate the selection of climate-resilient crop varieties and improve yields. 21. Palantir demos show how the military could use AI chatbots to generate war plans. Demonstrations reveal how military commanders can use Palantir's AI platform to identify enemy assets and generate detailed strike options through a ChatGPT-style interface. While the system is designed to compress decision-making time, it raises significant ethical concerns about AI's influence on lethal combat operations and accountability. 22. Make AI know the world with physically oriented agentic tools. Industry experts argue that the next phase of AI evolution involves physical AI, which integrates world models and sensors to enable machines to act safely in real environments. Companies like NVIDIA and ARM are already restructuring to support this shift toward embodied intelligence in robotics, autonomous vehicles, and wearable devices. 23. Andrew Yang says it's time to stop taxing workers and make AI foot the bill. Former presidential candidate Andrew Yang proposed shifting the tax burden from human labor to AI and humanoid robots as automation threatens millions of white-collar jobs. Other proponents are advocating for task taxes to compensate for lost income tax revenue when robots replace human workers in industries like hospitality and retail.